according to you. Who will win today's battle between Atrocitus versus Apocalypse? Red Rage versus Ultimate Mutant? Atrocitus, the leader of the Red Lantern Corps in the DC Universe, is the embodiment of rage and hatred. He is one of the first beings to give birth to the Red Lantern power, created from extreme anger. Atrocitus's red ring gives him terrible powers, from flying, creating energy shields, to the ability to fire destructive energy blasts. In particular, he can spit blood of hate, an energy acid that burns enemies from the inside out. He can also control emotional energy and even fight hand-to-hand with cosmic entities. Apocalypse, in Sabah Nur, is one of the first and most powerful mutants in the Marvel Universe. He possesses an immortal body thanks to celestial technology, allowing him to regenerate himself, transform his body at will, and increase his strength to unimaginable levels. Apocalypse can lift thousands of tons, change his body size, control matter and spirit, and possess super intelligence. He has defeated the X-Men and the strongest mutants. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button, please remember to turn on notifications, and click the bell icon. Thank you very much. Atrocitus, leader of the Red Lantern Corps, is one of the most brutal and dangerous warriors in the DC Universe. Originally from the planet Rut, Atrocitus witnessed the destruction of his homeland by the self-proclaimed Guardians of the Universe. That hatred transformed him into a creature of rage, a warrior with a single goal: revenge and the destruction of all oppressors. Powered by the Red Lantern Ring, Atrocitus can not only create weapons of light from his anger, but also spit corrosive plasma, destroying everything he touches, a terror to those who sow injustice. Fueled by the red energy of rage, he is an unquenchable fire, bringing the most cruel punishment to the wicked. From his hands, glowing red energy structures are created, becoming deadly weapons: claws, chains, flaming swords. He can erupt lava, turning the battlefield into a fiery hell. Every step he takes leaves a trail of destruction. But his rage is not in vain. It is the cry of the oppressed, the vengeance of the weak. No one can stop him because he is more than just an individual. He is the embodiment of the rage of the universe. Unlike Green Lanterns, Red Lanterns do not need a strong will. All they need is a heart filled with rage, and the red ring will find its owner. Atrocitus possesses powers far beyond those of other Red Lanterns, not only wielding powerful energy beams, but also spitting rage plasma, a poison that can burn his enemies from the inside. His rage is so strong that it can cloud his reason, turning him into an unstoppable machine of destruction. Having faced Sinestro, Hal Jordan, Superman, and even Lair Fleas, the greediest being in the universe, Atrocitus has never backed down. With a hatred for oppressors, he sees any force that seeks to control others as an enemy, and Apocalypse is the perfect embodiment of tyranny. For Atrocitus, there is only one end for someone like Apocalypse: to be crushed in endless rage. Apocalypse, also known as Sabah Nur, is one of the first mutants to appear on Earth, having existed for millennia thanks to his immortality. He not only possesses physical strength far beyond that of a human, but also has the ability to constantly evolve, absorbing and using celestial technology to increase his power. As a man with a survival of the fittest philosophy, Apocalypse always seeks to accelerate the evolution of mutants by eliminating those he deems weak. He has built loyal mutant armies called the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, consisting of the most powerful individuals such as Magneto, Archangel, and Wolverine. Apocalypse has faced many powerful heroes, from the X-Men to the Avengers and even cosmic entities. One of his most notable battles was with the young Thor, when the God of Thunder was not strong enough to defeat him. However, it was Thor who later, with the support of other gods, forced Apocalypse to temporarily retreat. He was also defeated by Jean Grey when he possessed the Phoenix Force, despite his near-infinite healing ability. However, even when destroyed, Apocalypse always sought to revive, using celestial technology, making him an eternal threat to humanity and mutants. He has confronted the most powerful entities in Marvel, such as Thor, Hulk, Phoenix Force, Jean Grey, and even the Celestials, the gods of the universe. Not only does Apocalypse have superior physical strength, he is also a strategic genius who always knows how to exploit the weaknesses of his opponents to turn them into tools to serve him. The strongest deserve to survive, and to carry out his philosophy, he turned his eyes to the Red Lantern Corps. For him, those driven by pure rage were the perfect tools to exploit. If he could break Atrocitus' will, he would turn the entire Red Lantern Corps into an invincible army under his command. However, Apocalypse underestimated Atrocitus' anger. As one of the most powerful entities in the DC universe, Atrocitus did not bow down to anyone easily. When he received news of Apocalypse's invasion, he immediately gathered the Red Lantern army, vowing to crush anyone who dared to invade their territory. For Atrocitus, Apocalypse was the embodiment of oppression, the thing he hated the most. More than just a war to defend territory, Apocalypse, after conquering a series of worlds and races, without any negotiation, Apocalypse landed on the Red Lantern's territory, a crimson planet engulfed in storms of angry energy. Atrocitus immediately felt the rage flare up in his chest, turning into jets of fire that spewed from his mouth like boiling lava. To Atrocitus, Apocalypse was more than a conqueror. He was the embodiment of oppression, of the strong trampling the weak, something Atrocitus vowed to destroy. Warriors who bore pain and hatred, ready to destroy their enemies. Apocalypse stood in the midst of the red storm, his cold eyes observing those surrounding him. He did not flinch, simply raising one hand, revealing the celestial technology on his body, and whispered, "The strong will survive." Immediately, a terrifying battle broke out between the Red Lantern Corps and one of the most powerful entities in the universe. The Red Lantern Corps quickly launched a fierce attack as Apocalypse set foot on their territory. A series of red energy beams lit up the space, filled with primal anger, rushing towards the invaders. The Red Lantern warriors, fueled by endless rage, roared in anger, using constructs formed from red energy to attack. The giant creatures' sharp sides and plasma storms were created with only one purpose: to destroy Apocalypse immediately. Apocalypse was not an easy opponent to overwhelm. With celestial technology and mastery of matter manipulation, he stood tall amidst the rain of energy bullets like an unshakable god. When the plasma beams rushed towards him, he simply raised his hand, causing the space in front of him to distort, completely absorbing their destructive power. The Red Lantern warriors tried to close in, but Apocalypse changed size, reaching out his giant hand to grab each unfortunate person, crushing them like weak insects. The battle quickly turned into a massacre as Apocalypse used his superior intelligence to neutralize his opponent's tactics. He began to manipulate the environment around him, turning the battlefield into a death trap. However, the Red Lantern's rage was never easily quelled. Atrocitus and Apocalypse faced each other in the middle of a blazing battlefield, where space was torn apart by waves of angry energy and ancient power. Atrocitus, exploding in pure rage, charged with destructive force, his massive hands glowing in a fierce red light. Each of his punches carried the energy of the Red Lanterns, shaking the space around him. Apocalypse did not flinch. He changed size, his body distorted like an ancient god of war, repelling the attacks as if they were nothing more than a passing wind. Please subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best, thank you so much. Apocalypse swung his arm, creating a massive blast of energy, knocking Atrocitus back, but as soon as the dust cleared, the Red Lantern leader roared again, his mouth emitting a stream of red plasma, so hot that it distorted space. Apocalypse just smiled. He used his ability to control matter, turning part of his body into a living shield, absorbing the flames of rage. Then, he counterattacked with a punch strong enough to crush a meteor. Atrocitus was sent flying, but his eyes were still burning. His anger did not diminish, but instead burned more and more fiercely. "You cannot kill me while this rage still exists," he roared, charging into battle once more. Atrocitus roared, crimson light engulfing his body as his rage exploded to its limit. He charged at Apocalypse with destructive force, swinging his giant claw soaked in rage plasma towards his opponent. The red liquid boiled, corroding the surrounding space as it splashed towards the ancient mutant. However, Apocalypse did not flinch. He changed shape immediately, his body expanding and mutating to adapt to the attack. The wounds caused by Atrocitus' energy closed, his metallic skin becoming harder to withstand the berserk rage. Atrocitus continued to attack furiously, launching a series of powerful blows, but each time he struck, Apocalypse transformed to fight back. From his hands, Apocalypse created strange biological weapons, slamming into his opponent, pushing him back. He used his psychic abilities to try to control Atrocitus, trying to break his will, but the Red Lantern's rage could not be subdued. Atrocitus roared, releasing a wave of red energy that enveloped everything, breaking Apocalypse's control and causing his opponent to stagger. The battle continued, with each side pushing their power to the limit, turning the confrontation into a veritable storm of destruction. Both sides pushed their power to the limit. Atrocitus, with his boundless rage, unleashed waves of destructive red energy, dyeing the sky blood red. His furious plasma beams could burn entire planets, but Apocalypse was not one to be easily subdued. Using celestial technology, he constantly regenerates and adapts, each attack from Atrocitus only making him stronger. Apocalypse expands his massive form, his massive arms slamming into the ground, creating cosmic shockwaves. He fights not with strength, but with strategy, trying to control Atrocitus's rage, turning it into a weapon against himself. But the Red Lantern does not fight with reason, he is the embodiment of pure rage, an uncontrollable force. Finally, the battle comes to a head when Atrocitus channels all his energy into one final blow, a colossal red blast that can tear apart reality. Apocalypse stands in the midst of the blinding light, roaring in defiance. Atrocitus is one of the most powerful warriors in the Red Lantern Corps, wielding the destructive power of his endless rage. Thanks to his Red Lantern ring, he can unleash attacks of terrifying power, from energy blasts to the ability to control blood and incinerate enemies with raging flames. However, despite his ability to deal a tremendous amount of damage, he still faces a major obstacle when facing Apocalypse, a being with almost limitless ability to evolve and adapt. Apocalypse not only possesses superior strength, but also has the ability to regenerate and transform his body to withstand any type of attack. As the battle drags on, he will gradually adapt to Atrocitus' attacks, making the Red Lantern's attacks increasingly ineffective. Apocalypse not only has superior endurance, but also possesses genius intelligence, helping him find his opponent's weakness and exploit it ruthlessly. However, Atrocitus still has a chance to win if he can strike before Apocalypse can adapt. If he uses the Red Lantern's power to attack his opponent's soul from the beginning, he can prevent Apocalypse's recovery process. However, this possibility is not high. Overall, Apocalypse still has a big advantage with a win rate of up to 70%. I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thanks a lot.